Hey everyone, I am back, and today we are going to talk about my first weekend and couple days after I landed here in LA. So of course you know I have my notes. So if you haven't already, please check out the story time with the drive my uncle and I did. 4 days, 46 hours. We land at the Airbnb. We get to the Airbnb early evening Thursday. Go to sleep, rest, and Friday, my sister's best friend slash like our adopted brother flies in Friday. And so he and I have plans to go to Nobu. Prior to getting to LA, we talked about like what are the different tourist things that we wanted to do. We went to Nobu that evening, but before that, once he got settled in, he was in Beverly Hills. Yes, Beverly Hills. And he and I chopped it up a little bit, had great conversation. Then we went to lunch. Then he went back to his hotel. I went back to my Airbnb, which was in Inglewood. Then we prepared to go to Nobu that night. We went there, and it's like there are other buildings, and it's kind of like hidden. So that was really interesting to like walk up to and go in. Everyone was really nice. Our table wasn't ready yet when we got there, so we sat at the bar for a second. Then we were whisked away to our table. And the vibe was nice. The lights were kind of dim, and there were a lot of people in the restaurant, very surprised. I don't know what I was thinking. I'll say this. A lot of times when I think about these swanky restaurants, I think about less people, but like a decent sized space. But when I think about luxury, I think about exclusivity. When I think about exclusivity, I think about less people. And basically, I just said that. But yeah, so there were quite a few people, which was fine. We had our own little area, so that was nice. So basically, he had, and I got a salad, as well as kind of like shrimp tempura with rice. So that was good. And then they asked us like, what are you celebrating, or are you celebrating anything? And so we told them I just moved here and, you know, super excited. And I will include this photo. So that was really good. Went back to the Airbnb, rested because Saturday was B day. Part of how I orchestrated things, if you haven't guessed already, I'm very strategic with a lot of things. So basically what I did was well in advance, when the tickets for Renaissance first went on sale, I bought my tickets for Inglewood, SoFi Stadium, because I said I need an incentive. And those tickets were over $400 a piece. And so it was like, I gotta get to LA because I'm not wasting all that money. Plus with the fees and all that, it was a grip, to say the least. So Saturday, preparing to go to Renaissance, and you know the theme, if you don't know, but the theme was like silver, sparkly. So I had a black top that was sheer with silver stars. So then I wore some sparkly tights and some sparkly Doc Martens. And so it was a vibe. And yeah, so he gets to the Airbnb and then I drive to SoFi because the Airbnb, This part of Inglewood, I would say probably like less than a 10-minute drive. So we get there early, we park. Alrighty, so welcome to my first vlog. It's gonna be really short, but I'm at the Beyonce concert. And let me tell you how close I was. Y'all, I thought I was far because it said 0.04 miles. We are in the parking lot. That right there is Sofi Stadium. And shout out to the folks for the hookup. Favor ain't fair. This is the fit. I have like a shimmery see-through shirt with a tank top underneath it. And then my sparkly tights. I did have a silver skirt, but it's a little chilly out here. So, but join me at the concert, Beyonce concert. And my tickets aren't that close because I got my tickets with the pre-sale and I did not know the tickets were gonna go down and then I couldn't exchange it. But anyway, welcome to my new life in LA. Here is my entry. Ooh, I'm not in the shade. We did a lot of walking. Ooh, right here. I didn't know I would have VIP entry. We are in here. All right, now I gotta see where we're going. As you can see, we had a great parking location, which we're gonna come back to that. So we get inside the stadium. There are so many people, like so many people, but everyone's dressed to the nines. Mostly everyone is, wearing the theme, and so that's nice. And we get to our seats. Now, mind you, when I bought the ticket, even though I saw the map, I got the tickets when they first went on sale, and there was a rumor that the tickets would be sold out. What I didn't know was people would resell their tickets for a cheaper price. This plays into the story. So, before we got there, I was like, let me see if I can exchange our tickets for the same price for something closer. Well, because I got the tickets outright and not through a reseller, you can't exchange that way. Like, you can exchange ticket, like a regular ticket for a regular ticket, or you can exchange a resale for another resale, and this is all depending on the stipulations for whatever concert you go to. So I was not able to do that. So I was like, okay, whatever. We were at the top tier. And mind you, I'm still a little shell shocked from, if you haven't checked it out already, again, check out the driving to LA vlog or story time. Through all those mountains and stuff, I was like, I'm over heights. So we were so high that when I looked down, I just had to sit down. I stood up a little bit and danced. It was like, we're really high. So when you check out some of the other footage I will include, you'll see or pictures. But SoFi is a great stadium, and we still had a phenomenal time. So we're jamming to Beyonce, having a great time. The concert lets out, and wouldn't you know, it took us 45 minutes to get to the car. Because I'm not great with directions. He's not great with directions. We are trying to figure out... No, let me back up. So we're trying to ask people, but we don't exactly know where we parked. Hindsight is 2020. I should have taken pictures and things like that. So we're trying to GPS it, but how can you GPS something when you don't know where you're going? Needless to say, it took us 45 minutes. When I tell you I was so irritated, I said, oh my gosh. But I could only be mad at myself. Normally I take pictures and I had a video, but the video really wasn't helpful. I would encourage this. If you decide to drive to SoFi, find out the nearest gate number that's connected to your parking spot, and then you'll be able to find it. So after 45 minutes, we finally get back to the car in the night. He goes back to his hotel. I'm back at the Airbnb. Good. Sunday. So Sunday was a great day because we went on a TMZ tour. All right, so we're going on the TMZ tour today. This is maybe downtown Hollywood. I actually have no idea, but Let me show y'all from the car. And so basically a TMZ tour takes you all around LA. There is a little slight sense of objectification with the tour, I must admit. So part of the tour's theme is like spotting celebrities, and so something about the language at times kind of felt like hunting, and I just wasn't feeling that. Now I will say I did have more footage, but I actually lost my other SD card, so I only have limited footage of the tour, but it was great. Drove all through LA, learned some interesting facts. I even won a free t-shirt based on a trivia. Like they had like little trivia questions, so won that. Let's see, what else? We did that. And then after the tour, because I wanted to decompress, I actually scheduled some I scheduled a massage at the Four Seasons. So let me back up. So Friday, in between going to the hotel, having lunch, and Nobu, my brother and I walked down like Wilshire and the different parts of Beverly Hills, which I will include photos here. Beverly Hills is cool. The first thing I noticed though there was, where I'm from in Virginia, we have a lot of homeowners associations. They don't really have that here. So that was like, oh, interesting. Saturday my sister comes. My sister, who you will probably may hear her voice in vlogs, but you will never see her in vlogs because I'm respecting her privacy. But my sister came Saturday. Brother came Friday, sister came Saturday, which of course, you know, warmed my heart because to be able to have their support is amazing. Not only they're like rooting for me from a distance, but they actually came here with me, which made me feel good. So this is important. So my sister's here Saturday. So my sister goes on the TMZ tour Sunday, and I go to the Four Seasons Sunday. The reason I also chose the Four Seasons, not only because I wanted to decompress, but because my sister stayed there, because yep, she's that girl. The Four Seasons is nice. All right, now let's talk about my massage experience. So I get there a little bit early, and you check in at the front, and the way the spa is set up, now I'm not great with directions, but basically you like go down a hallway, make a right, go all the way down, and the spa is right before you get to the outdoor pool area. So you check in at the front desk. They were really nice, and you're told to go to the locker room and change, to put on a robe so that you can walk across this like very small hallway to get to the rooms where you're getting a massage and all your spa services. So I'm looking at the robe, and you can see I am not a small girl. Looking at the robe, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna fit me. So I go to the changing area. They had like a closed off changing area bathroom, because some people could change out in the open. That's not me. So yeah, I go and put the robe on, can put my arms in. It's a little tight, but all right, can, you know. When I go to close it, y'all, it is like this basically. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is not it. Let me ask them, do they have a bigger robe? I should have asked them from the beginning, but I didn't think about it. Asked for a bigger robe. Oh, they're so sorry, they don't have one available. They should have one available soon. Someone is using it. I guess they're gonna clean it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm waiting. Now the time is ticking because I need to get to my appointment. So I'm like, all right. And so finally the time is about to come, and I'm like, I cannot walk across that little hallway that leads to the pool and all of this is exposed. I'm sorry, not gonna do that. And I end up going to the massage room that I had to go to with my clothes on. Just because I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So then I get out of my clothes, get on the table, and I've had massages before. Like, I remember my first massage was when I was in graduating high school. My mom is really into massages and self-care, so like that's been a thing growing up. So anyway, so because they don't have the robe, I'm ready to be asking for a discount. Because one thing about me, I'm gonna ask for a discount. So you saw how I did the hair flick with that. I'm gonna ask for a discount. Anyway, when I tell y'all that massage was amazing, and what was great though, even though they didn't give me a discount, they did give me an add-on, and I did like some sort of lavender treatment. That massage was everything. It was so amazing because, you know, I was in the car for so long, ripping and running, and then going straight to being a tourist. I was like, oh, I'm tired. But that massage was just everything. And yeah, I definitely want to go back. Finish the massage. Yeah, so it was nice. It was a vibe. I totally recommend. 10 out of 10 recommend. And let's see, look at my notes. So that was cool. Went back to the Airbnb, fell asleep, and rested Monday and Tuesday. The other thing that I will say, and I don't know if I mentioned this in the driving story time, but I worked the whole time because I didn't know if I would need time later. Hindsight is 2020, and I really recognized, hey Tanya, you work too much. And you'll find as I share more about my day-to-day, part of what I really want to get out of is working so much. I work a lot. And yeah, so I pretty much did half days. And so when we're on the road, I'm like, how hard, in my mind, prior to actually being on the road, how hard could it be? Uncle drive, I'll just work on the computer. Well, I didn't anticipate that my phone's Wi-Fi would not always have reception, and some things I just couldn't connect to being on the road. I got through it, but if I could do it again, I would not work and drive across country. It's actually absurd when you think about it. It's actually very absurd when you think about it. So chilled Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday, the day before my sister left to go back east, we went to Donna Jean's. Now my sister loves Donna Jean. How did my sister begin to love Donna Jean? Well, let me tell you. So May 2023, my sister and I came to San Diego together because one of my big bosses was retiring, and I was like, this is a great opportunity to drive to LA to see if I like the apartment and all of that. So we drive to LA to see an apartment not too far from here. When it was time for me to find an apartment, it wasn't ready, so I had to find something else. But at the time in May, I drive up here with my sister, and shout out to Fred from work who recommends Donna Jean when I'm there in May. We go to Donna Jean when we come up here. My sister loves it. So fast forward, so that's May. Fast forward to September 6th, Wednesday. Then my sister, uncle, and I go to Donna Jean. That's her favorite place here. We had a good time, but I will say this. So if you remember from the last story, hot food is not my strongest. It's not my strongest suit. That's not even the word. It's not my favorite. I don't know why Unc and I did this, but there were like these fried mushrooms that were Nashville hot. Now, in my mind, I'm like, maybe they're not that warm. What's Nashville hot? I don't really know. Y'all, it tasted like the mushrooms were soaked in pepper and hot sauce mixed together. So if that chicken tender, check out the other video, was like burning the insides, the distance from the top. So when you take your first bite, it's like, oh, this is hot. And immediately it's like, oh my gosh, this is so hot that I feel like I'm going to get steam from my nose and my ears like a cartoon. It was so hot, Unc and I started coughing. You know how hot that is? When it was like, oh my gosh. So that was stressful. That was very stressful. But we got through it. We got through it. I think I got a salad. My sister and uncle both got pizzas. So that was like my first weekend in a few days as a new LA transplant. Now let's transition a little bit in the video and let's talk about my LA bucket list. Y'all know I have notes. So I planned when I came here to be here 2 years. So I've been here about 7 months. So we have about 17 more months to go. And I will talk about in my research video why going back home really affirmed that I'll be here 2 years. But I still love living here. So let's talk about my bucket list. So we have a few like sports bucket list items. So I'm going to a Lakers game this season. I want to go to one next season. I've gone to a Clippers game this season. I want to go to one next season. I went to an LA Rams / Steelers game with Unc. This season, I want to go to one next season. I want to go to an LA Chargers game next season. I also want to go to an LA Dodgers game either this season or next. I don't know how baseball season runs. I want to go to a hockey game, and I also want to go to a soccer game, LA Galaxy. There's also another baseball team, LA Angels. Why not go there too? Then there are some award shows I want to go to. So I went to the NAACP Awards, which I will talk about in my March Saturdays vlog. The NAACP Awards was everything. I want to go again next year. This year I want to go to the BET Awards. For those who used to follow me when I had Facebook, I always, like for years, gave my commentary on the BET Awards, and I always said I would go. So I would like to get a ticket. I'll pay for a ticket. And who knows, maybe with these awards next year I'll get an invitation. We'll see. Even still, I'll pay for a ticket. I want to be in the room. I'm going to the College Emmys this year, partly because I was a Television Academy intern. So I get invited to a lot of their events. I'll go to that next year. Let's see. As far as the spiritual and wellness, this Sunday, April 7th, I am joining a church. Cali Worship, love it. The thing that I love about Cali Worship, number one, they have women in ministry, which I am a minister, fun fact, and I want that. I also love their different ministries. So for years, I worked in youth ministry. I had a kids theater. I also did youth ministry, particularly a girls ministry at my home church. And I have a youth and theology certificate from Princeton. So I'd love to either be on the prayer ministry or work with youth, or maybe both. So very excited about that. The other thing that I love about the church is truly come as you are. Like I didn't feel like it was stale. I didn't feel like I couldn't be myself. If you want to stand up, stand up. If you want to like raise your hand, raise your hand. If you want to yell out hallelujah, yell out hallelujah. But let me tell you a couple of things. Let me put this down. How? Not that y'all asked for this, but for me, there were some particular things that I was looking for a church. Number one, I wanted a black church. I love a black church. I come from a black church. Women in ministry. I also wanted a church that felt spirit-led, and so that was there too. So it wasn't a rigid program. We moved the way the Spirit of God moved, which I loved. The music was great, of course. The preaching was sound and short. Loved that. And I love how I was greeted. So it was like they give you these welcome tags, which I love. They also greet their visitors, which not all churches do, but I love that. When you're new, you stand up, People say, you know, welcome. Love that. Then after service, people just hang around and chill. Love that. They have great events, and it just felt warm. They also had prayer in the middle of service. I got prayer. Love that. The other thing that I loved was they had like different people stationed for the prayer lines, and then they had people standing behind them just in case they got overcome with the spirit and, you know, fell out. Love that. So yeah, just found my folks. So very excited. You join the church every first Sunday. So I'm very excited to join the church this Sunday, which is first Sunday. Continuing the wellness and spirituality, I am currently in yoga teacher training, a 200-hour training session. And so that ends in May. And then in the fall, I actually want to start a 300-hour training, which would then leave me with a total of 500 hours before I leave LA. And shout out to my YTT folks. I love them dearly. I love y'all dearly. Shout out to the Yoga Tree Collective. Actually, let me get the name, because I want to give a shout out to Ja and Jana, who are amazing. Make sure I get the full name right. Let's see. It's the Tree Yoga Cooperative in South Central LA. Y'all, that studio is amazing. It's like behind these iron gates. It just makes you feel, I don't know, it makes me feel wellness. And I've only gone one time. It's really far from me, and I typically don't drive at night. But with daylight savings, I will be going to practice in person. Generally, I join virtually, but it's a vibe. It is a vibe. Love my folks. And I actually will be doing a video talking about the Matrix, because before I started taking yoga teacher training, I actually did mental yoga, where we talked about the yamas and the niyamas, which I'll do a whole video on the yamas and the niyamas and the Matrix. That was like a general theme together. Yeah, and basically I won't necessarily share what we were taught per se, but I'll share my experience and some lessons that illuminated from that experience. So yeah, so that was good. All right, so continuing with my bucket list, I really kind of want to be outdoorsy. So I want to go to Joshua Tree, which means I want to go to an Airbnb at Joshua Tree. I want to camp, but I want to camp at an Airbnb. Here's some other things with Amtrak. There is a route that goes from here to the Grand Canyon. I want to do that. There's also another route that goes from here to Seattle. I definitely want to go along the western coast, if you will. I also want to go on a cruise. Shout out to Cruise TikTok. It makes me want to go on a cruise. There is a cruise that goes from, what is the cruise? It's a Pacific Coastal Cruise that goes from here to British Columbia. I want to do that. I also want to, this fall, I want to go to Denver or Utah. This fall slash this winter slash 2020, early 2025, I want to go skiing. Think that would be fun. I also want to subscribe to a few theater seasons so that I can really immerse myself in the theater scene here. I think that's important. I also want to go to some premieres, film premieres, television show premieres. I am a member of both Film Independent and the New Filmmakers of LA organization. They have regular programming. I at least want to start showing up at least monthly to meet more people and yeah, build network. Let's see. I also want to go to some film fests here. There are quite a few. Something I just signed up for that is coming here May 12th, Everyday People. It's a party I saw online. Very excited, a day party. I want to try at least 4 more spas, and I also want to go back to the Four Seasons Spa. For 9 years, I had locks. make sure I have my list. For 9 years, I had locks, but where I'm from, we call them dreads. I know that that's a big debate, dreadlocks versus locks. I like to say what we say in Tidewater. The colloquialism is dreads. I had them for 9 years. My hair got thin and I did a lot of colors. And so actually they used to be like this size, but now I want to have them at least double the size. I want thicker locks. And then they were down my back and then they were shorter. And then like when I cut them off, I think they were like right here. But now I want them to be probably max so that I could do styles. Probably like right here at the most. But I'm gonna let my hair grow out a little bit. So right now I think I have like, you know, like when people think they have all this hair, they're like, I have this much hair. No. I think I have like, I still have a baby fro. So I think I have like this much. So in the fall, which I think will be a good time because in the summer you sweat all the time. So in the fall, I'm going to restart my lock journey. Very excited about that. And let me check my list. So this list is ambitious for the next 17 months. But my thought is, I don't know what the future holds. And so while I'm here, I want to do all the things. Oh, another thing I want to do, when I talked about Joshua Tree, I do want to hike to the Hollywood sign, and I do want to go to some trails. Well, I want to go through some hiking trails that aren't too much. So part of this channel will be chronicling all of those things in addition to life, in addition. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for being a part of the Boosie Evolves journey. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And share this with people. If you know people who want to see what it's like to start over, people who are in a transitional state in their life trying to find their way, or people who know their way, but you think they'll benefit from watching me talk your head off, please share this video. Please share this YouTube series. I'm so excited for you to see how this journey evolves. All right, I will see you in the next video. I'm actually preparing to film 2 more videos today. I am filming an addendum to a March video where I did some recordings for 2 Saturdays in March. I'm going to talk a little bit about the NAACP awards, my experience, how I got the ticket, all of that. And then I'm going to do another video. What was the other video? Oh, yeah. The third video is going to talk about my research experience when I went home the week before Easter. So anyway, I said that to say you're going to see this outfit in the next 3 videos. All right, talk to you later.